95 of Folks. Here comes the caution.
Flag is dropped here at Daytona, and away we go for the first time. Nicholas Borcel, Sean.
Looks like most get through unscathed. Look at that, there's Reed Gibson. A big move at the inside line of Dom's, possibly a little bit of contact.
Now, as we've got three wide action going through turns 1 and 2.
And they're underway. Eric Hahn takes a nice jump. Wilson hasn't let him go very far.
Go out here for Circuit Spa Francorchamps. Alex Johnson's off to a brilliant start there.
Just how oddly shaped this one is. We saw in the background Eric Hahn go for a bit of a swing, and he's gone and he's over.
New stuff. Cody Graham's the one-on-one up into second place. Alex Johnson 6/10 the lead at the moment.
They're dicey up front. There's Andrew Kessel, Justin Sang.
They are ready to go. The lights are out, and away we go for the very first time here at Okayama International Circuit. Finley Fitzsimmons.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome back to the league's Euro Racing Series, the premier Formula 3 iRacing League. We're at the Spanish Grand Prix, racing at Jerez tonight, and it's guaranteed to be a good one. Looks like drivers are wrapping up qualifying, getting their way out onto the grid. And let's go ahead and run through the starting order here today. Starting on pole, Finley Fitzsimmons, the defending champion. Raymond Aguilar starting second. Jaden Calloway starts third. Jake Duckwall starting fourth. Felipe Sarkis starting fifth. Gareth McAllister, the world-famous Australian, starts sixth. Ryan Tebow starting seventh. Michael Fairchild starts eighth. Connor Scribner starting ninth. Antonio Bianchi starting 10th. Felipe Ramos starts 11th. Eric Fox starting 12th. Cycling on back, we've got John Kasai starting 13th. Nick Peterson starts 14th. Xavier Zanave starting 15th. Peter Redinger starts 16th. We've got Jack Mundy starting 17th. And Addison Hoagie will round out the 18-car grid here today as we wait for the few remaining drivers to make their way out onto the circuit. As always, my name is James East on behalf of Team Goon Squad Broadcasting, bringing the action 1080p 60 frames a second. Thank you so much to our fans, friends, and family tuning in, supporting the league, supporting the drivers, as well as supporting the broadcast. Let us know in the YouTube chat where you're from, who you're cheering on. As drivers will very frequently have the broadcast pulled up on a separate device, and if not, they just about always go back and watch the show, and they definitely notice and appreciate those fans that are out here cheering them on. We're still waiting on Aguilar, Ramos, Mundy, and Hoagie to make their way out onto the grid. A couple more moments here. And here we go. We get ready for the lights to come on here at Jerez. All drivers did make it to their grid spots in time. The lights go off and the green flag is out here at the Spanish Grand Prix. Already Aguilar with a great start. The number 72 machine is going to put the pressure on Fitzsimmons. Fitzsimmons carries a little bit tighter line. Aguilar tries the outside. No such luck. You can see Nick Peterson has an off-track excursion in the background. And Fitzsimmons, oh, we've got big problems. Looks like that's going to be Bianchi, Duckwall, Tebow, Fairchild. All involved in that one, and Bianchi just keeps having more luck here. Bad luck, I should say. There's Ryan Tebow ahead. We go back up front. Fitzsimmons holds onto the race lead. You also look at that, there's Jaden Calloway. Piloting the number 37 machine, started in third, holds on to it. And looks like he's going to keep the pressure on Aguilar just ahead. Looks like that is going to be, I believe, Callaway's teammate Sarkis, the Brazilian driver, number 4, not too far behind, running fourth. Trying to get a better shot of those liveries to guarantee that they are, in fact, teammates here. So as it stands, it's Fitzsimmons, Aguilar, Calloway, Sarkis, McAllister, your current top 5. We did get the report that Ryan Tebow had to go back to pit road, taking a tow out of this feature event before a lap was fully completed. A good battle going on right now. You've got John Kasai, Jack Mundy battling for 8th. Kasai having a good run here. He is already up 9 positions from where he started. And now Kasai will play second fiddle at number 14. The number 3 still up 4 spots from his starting position. So some big moves being made early on here at Jerez. And Fitzsimmons, your race leader, the defending champ, has stretched his margin over a second over Aguilar. It's going to be interesting to see what these drivers can do over the long run. 24 laps. The fuel window will open on lap 12, close about lap 18 based on previous races we've seen. Fairchild and Zanave side by side. We get a report from pit wall. Antonio Bianchi, number 17 machine. We saw him involved in that lap 1 incident. He's down pit road under his own power. Gonna try and get that thing repaired as Fairchild and Zanave keep up the back and forth here. Fairchild with a big move up the inside line of Zanave. Zanave's gonna fall back to 12, still up 3 spots, and man, has the front wing all over the gearbox of Fairchild. Jack Mundy, Felipe Ramos side by side. Mundy blitzing through the field here. That's going to be his 10th spot gain very early into this feature event. But I don't think Ramos is going to let him go too easy here. On board Felipe Ramos, number 73. Working that draft against Mundy. Looks like he backs out of it into turn 1, not looking for a big send. And Mundy gets much better corner exit on that one. That's going to really help him out. Try and put a little bit of a gap on Ramos. Now, fastest lap was just set by Fitzsimmons, the race leader, a 1:31.54. Expecting those times to get even faster as this run progresses. And look at this. Now Ramos has company from Kasai. Ramos had his head set forward, trying to catch back up to Mundy, but now he's going to have that rearwards pressure from Kasai. And you've got to be careful here. Eric Fox, that 33 machine, not too far back, about 3/4 of a second from this battle for 8th. And if Kasai and Ramos spend too much time kind of throwing jabs at each other, there could very quickly be another driver in the form of Eric Fox joining the party. Let's go a little bit further back. Nick Peterson trying to track down Xavier Zanave. Peterson's up 1 spot. Zanave is up 3/10 separating these two drivers in what could be the battle for 12th. Oh, a little bit of a bobble there from Peterson, losing the back end. That may give Zanave a break that he needs. Looks like Zanave starting to catch up to Fairchild as well. Fairchild running 11th. Now right around this top 12 spot, very important, as that is going to be the transfer, or I guess I should say the reverse grid spot for the sprint race for the new fans here at League Zero. The top 12 finishers from this feature event will be an inverted grid for the sprint race, which is always just wildly action-packed. A little bit of a smoke there. Can't quite tell who that was from, possibly Fairchild. And we got another report. Jake Duckwall has sent it home. Had an incident, then takes a tow back to pit road. If you take a tow here in the feature event, you are done and out. And it looks like he just pulls over and says, hey, I've had enough. We've got a very heated battle for second underway. Raymond Aguilar in second. The number 72 machine fending off Jaden Calloway's 37. Less than 1/4 of a second separating these drivers in the battle for second. Fitzsimmons out front just keeps clicking off burners. A 1:31.03. That's good enough to call that one a flat. And he has built up a 2.9 second margin. Now with Aguilar and Callaway battling for second, I think that gap's only going to increase over the duration of this race, barring some sort of mistake from Fitzsimmons. Now, not to discredit Fitzsimmons, we've seen some simple mistakes that rapidly got out of hand before, even while being in the lead. So hopefully Fitzsimmons is going to be able to hold on to it here at Jerez. Oh, here we go, Callaway. Pulls up alongside Aguilar, takes a peek at the inside line. They're side by side, wheel to wheel. Aguilar tries to carry a little bit more speed, and the next left-hander, Callaway's going to have to fall back. Aguilar will hold on to second place, but Callaway definitely making him work for it. Now, these two drivers, we talked about them battling for seconds, slowing the pace. They were almost 2 seconds slower than Fitzsimmons on lap times last time by. We go on board Callaway's 37. Loving to see this aggressive racing action amongst these drivers. And we are on the gearbox of Ray Aguilar. Has been able to stretch that gap back to about a half second, it looks like. And a very heated battle for 10th. It's Michael Fairchild, Eric Fox, and here comes Xavier Zanave. And don't count on Nick Peterson back there in the 24. He had a brief off track the lap prior. Oh, but with Fox and Fairchild side by side, I think Zanave and Peterson going to want to get a piece of the action. Oh, side by side again goes Fairchild and Fox. Fox takes over the 10th place position from Fairchild. Now that's going to be Zanave and Fairchild side by side. Zanave working the outside line. Ooh, Zanave trying to muscle through here, but Nick Peterson frantically trying to find an opening that just does not quite exist. We've got 4 drivers battling for that 10th place spot. Every point matters in these championships. And I'm not quite sure where Addison Hoagie has come from, but that 96 machine also joining this top 10 fray. Hoagie currently running 14th, has to gain 2 more spots if he wants to start in pole position for the sprint race. The top 5 hasn't changed much. It's still Fitzsimmons, Aguilar, Callaway, Sarkis, and McAllister. Felipe Ramos has his off-track excursion. He's going to fall back to 15th. There goes Peter Rettinger. Let's see what happened to Ramos. Just loses the back end. Looks like he was on the throttle. Gets back on the gas to avoid the frantic pack right behind. Now this pack has lost ground to Fox and Fairchild. They pulled about a 1.4 second advantage over Peterson, who sits 11th. And this battle for 9th separated by about a quarter of a second, but we got to pan the camera right back to Zanave and Peterson side by side, but it looks like Addison Hoagie going to use the draft off of Peterson, try to slingshot around Zanave. Hoagie looked like he was going to be interested in going down the middle, taking it 3 wide, not able to do so. Hoagie takes a peek to the inside line of Peterson. Here comes Peter Rettinger. Here comes Felipe Ramos trying to get a bit of redemption. As Fairchild and Fox side by side. Great racing all across the track here. Oh, a bit of a bobble there for Fox, and I just heard carnage. Oh, and that is what it's going to be. That's going to be, I think, Peterson, Rettinger, Ramos, and Hoagie in that one. Thankfully, no safety car. We're going to get the replay queued up. Focused in on Addison Hoagie's 96 machine. He was the first one listed on the crash report. So keep an eye out, the 96. Oh, a little bit of contact there to the back of, I believe, Peterson, and the field just comes barreling in, nowhere to go. Now, Addison Hoagie did take a tow after that one. Looks like everybody else still out on track. And I heard somebody limping along here. So unfortunately, that 4-car battle just about null and void. They will not be getting that train back together. Up front, things are still tight between Aguilar and Callaway. We've been sitting around about a quarter of a second between the two. And you can just see Felipe Sarkis in the background. He's 1.5 seconds back from second place Aguilar and third place Callaway. Now Nick Peterson has come down pit road to get some repairs after getting a little bit of a push from behind there. Onboard Callaway's 37. A quarter of a second back from Aguilar and still hunting. Callaway currently 6th in points. Raymond Aguilar 2nd in points, 5 back from current championship leader Finley Fitzsimmons, who has checked out up front 3.5 seconds ahead of the other podium contenders. Oh, here we go. Callaway with a massive run has to back out of it. I thought for certain he was going to make a move to the inside line against Aguilar. These drivers running about a quarter of a second slower than race leader Fitzsimmons, who has extended that gap to 3.8. And we have another crash report. John Kasai finds himself in trouble. Well, let's see what happened to Kasai. Sporting that number 3 machine. Peter Renger also down pit road. Kasai just loses the back end. Maybe applying that throttle a little bit too liberally. Didn't look like any damage, and he holds on to 11th. This is very quickly becoming a race of attrition. Out of 18 drivers that entered, I still showed 12 on track. Renger and Peterson are down on pit road. They hopefully will return to the circuit. Renger rolling back out on track. Peterson still in his box after 2 minutes, so he's definitely getting some repairs done. As right now, all eyes are on Aguilar and Callaway, still going at it for second place. They built up another 2.2 second gap over Felipe Sarkis in fourth, and McAllister still holding on to the 5th place position. Oh, like a little bit of slide there for Aguilar. Callaway grabs about 2/10 from that little mistake. Whittles it down to just about a quarter of a second. And man, these guys are definitely on the ragged edge here. Kasai down pit road. As race leader, defending champ, and current points leader, Fitzsimmons has extended that gap to 4.6 seconds. I'm very curious to see what tire management is going to be like for these drivers. As for the most part, the field very spread out here. Except for these two out on track, Aguilar and Callaway putting on a show. Here at Jerez, we get another crash report. This time it's Felipe Ramos I believe, once more. Looks like it's going to be a solo driver incident. Not seeing any drivers front nor aft of the number 4073 machine. Oh, just a big lock up there. I'm almost wondering if he might have just totally missed his mark. Wasn't able to find those reference points he was looking for. We check in on race leader Fitzsimmons. You could just see Aguilar and Callaway 4 seconds back. Now, Fitzsimmons has backed off the pace quite a bit. A 131.9 his last time by. A full 9/10 slower than his fastest lap of the race. And oh no, more crash reports. This time it's Redinger in the all-black 44 machine. Well, look like Redinger cooks it in a little bit hot, gets the car unsettled, loses the downforce, and around he goes. And we've seen this in weeks prior. Not sure if there was a update to the tire model or something has changed slightly, but we've seen a lot more tire management come into play. We wait for the lap times to update. Aguilar a 131.9. Callaway just about matching Aguilar equally. They were about 4/10 slower than race leader Fitzsimmons. I wonder if Callaway is trying some fuel mileage game here. We've already had the cross green and white flags displayed. So past the halfway mark of this feature event, you can see Fitzsimmons ahead. 4.5 seconds ahead of Aguilar. And Callaway seems very content just to follow Aguilar, not really pressuring the issues. We've seen him take a couple of jabs at the 72. Wondering if Callaway is going to go for either an undercut or overcut here on fuel strategy. If Callaway thinks he's faster lap time wise than Aguilar, I would imagine he would go for the undercut. But both second and third place drivers, Aguilar and Callaway, have just about identical lap times with a 131.49 for Aguilar and a 131.50 for Callaway. A little bit of smoke there going on the pit road. Not quite sure who that was. On board once more with Callaway, who seems to just be stalking Aguilar here. Haven't seen any big moves from the number 37 in a couple laps, but he gets great runs here, close the gap to 2/10. John Kasai, an off-track report. Ooh, very thankful there to keep it away from the wall and the tire barrier. Felipe Ramos down pit road for a green flag stop on his lap 13. We also have a very possible 3-car battle shaping up. 5th place McAllister, 6th place Scribner, and 7th place Mundy. Separated by a second and a half between these 3 drivers. Mundy's going to take this opportunity to come down pit road. That's going to leave McAllister and Scribner battling for 5th, a half second separating these 2 drivers. Wondering if Scribner looks like he might have caught the draft off that number 25 machine. McAllister just so good on corner exit, able to defend, pulling a 10th back to his advantage. Mundy rolls out of pit road as well as Eric Fox. The green flag stops thoroughly underway. I'm interested to see if Scribner can really latch onto the back wing of McAllister, if we're going to see a battle for that top 5 start to develop. We've got Nicky Ed asking what happened to Tebow. Tebow unfortunately involved in an early incident. Callaway is down pit road for his green flag stop. That's going to move Sarkis at least temporarily up into 3rd. And now there's Jack Mundy, the number 14 machine, having to fight through traffic again after his pit stop. As Xavier Zanabe, the flying Frenchman, the number 12, just ahead of Mundy. Mundy gets the position. Xavier takes a little bit wider line, but then a bit of a bobble there. He's going to lose a ton of time behind Mundy, completely losing the draft. So midway through this pit cycle, it's Fitzsimmons, Aguilar, Sarkis, McAllister, and Scribner. Callaway, after his pit stop, has fallen back to 7th. But Callaway currently scored the highest driver who has already boxed. The 6 drivers in front of Callaway have yet to come down pit road. Tebow unfortunately joined us from the spectator area after a bit of heartbreak early on this feature event at Jerez, but got to give credit, the car was looking great up until that point. Seven laps left to go here at the Spanish Grand Prix. McAllister trying to hold on to a top 5, but Scribner definitely keeping the pressure up. And I think McAllister maybe had a bit of a bobble. Scribner closed the gap to 2/10. McAllister pulls it back in his favor just ever so slightly. Definitely able to notice the strong points of each driver on this circuit. Yeah, Tebow giving us a good topic. Yeah, cars look great for about 3 corners. Hopefully a little bit of redemption there for the Canadian and the sprint race. Still waiting for our top drivers to come down pit road. Fitzsimmons leading with 4.3 second margin over Aguilar. Oh, here we go. Fitzsimmons down pit road. Aguilar will join him. What about Felipe Sarkis, who is about 9 seconds back from the race leader? Yes, Sarkis down pit road. Looks like McAllister is going to stay out for one more go. Scribner down pit road. We talked about it in seasons past. McAllister very comfortable with fuel mileage. And so far, midway through the pit stops, McAllister is going to be up front, sporting the number 25 machine. Fitzsimmons rolls back out on track. He's about, let's call it about 8.5 seconds back from McAllister. Fitzsimmons was in and out of his pit stall 5.5 seconds. Ray Aguilar, now in 3rd, was a 4.3 second pit stop. Michael Fairchild and Gareth McAllister, the only drivers inside the top 5 who have yet to box. Xavier Zanave rolls out of pit road as Connor Scribner hits his stall. Going to be interesting to see where McAllister and Scribner are out on track together. Oh, it's not going to be as tight as I thought. I think Scribner got a speeding penalty. He spent 45 seconds in his pit stall. That is very indicative of some sort of pit road violation. McAllister, who is having a whole lot of pressure for the top 5, now has issues. And Jaden Calloway has problems. He's got an off track. Calloway was keeping the pressure on Aguilar, but just drifts a little bit wide. Oh, very barely lifted there. Stays in the throttle on the dirt. There's Michael Fairchild for his pit stop. McAllister down pit road. It's going to get the race lead back to Fitzsimmons. Fitzsimmons 3.7 seconds ahead of Aguilar. Aguilar at one point was almost 4.5 seconds back. Jaden Calloway is going to hold on to third, but he's going to be way back from Aguilar this time by Sarkis in fourth. Looks like McAllister is going to roll back out on track, still holding on to the top 5 position. And we've got problems for Michael Fairchild. He's in his pit stall for 11.5 seconds. I think Fairchild must have had some sort of repairs to hammer out. Eric Fox, Michael Fairchild have linked up once more in the battle for 7th. Less than 4/10 separating these two drivers. Fairchild, the 88, is up 1 spot. Fox, the 33, is up 4. Hard Charger out on track still. Jack Mundy's number 14. He's moved up 11 positions to crawl his way up into 6th place. Mundy looks like he's catch up to McAllister. 9/10 separating the two. And a little bit further back, looks like Connor Scribner catching up to Kasai, who's fighting to hold on to a top 10 result here. Kasai had lots of problems early on this main event. And it looks like Scribner absolutely all over the back. Number 3 looking to pick his passing moment carefully. Here we go. Scribner looks to the inside, backs out of it. And Scribner really did not lose any time with that passing attempt. He immediately came out of the corner a quarter of a second back from Kasai, catches the draft once more. And it looks like Scribner finally going to make it happen here against Kasai. Kasai will not be able to defend in the left-hander. So Connor Scribner has worked his way back up into 10th. Now Kasai will follow along to see if he can maybe repay the favor. Kasai still on the back wing of Scribner. Scribner trying to pull any advantage he can, but Scribner has a bobble. Here comes Kasai. Looks like Scribner's going to be able to defend the left-hander. Kasai having to go the long way around. Keeps the momentum, though. Still a quarter of a second off the back of Scribner, but Scribner finds some time there. Gains 2/10 and 2 corners. And I think Scribner's going to check out here. I wonder if Kasai got a little bit frustrated or maybe opted to back it off a little bit, saying, you know what, 11th, not that bad. Let's keep the car going despite the issues that were had earlier. Checking back in up front. Fitzsimmons, your race leader. Aguilar, 2.3 seconds off the gearbox of that number 1 machine. A lot closer margin than we saw in laps prior. And I think Fitzsimmons must have had some sort of issue his last time by. He cooked up a 132.43, while Aguilar a 131.65. I'll be interested to see what the lap time is this time by, but it looks like Aguilar is closing the gap. Hopefully Fitzsimmons, I can't imagine he would have underfueled. He was in his pit stall 1.2 seconds longer than Aguilar was. And Fitzsimmons and Aguilar clicked off identical lap times last time by. Both drivers a 131.71. Aguilar closes the gap to 2 seconds to Fitzsimmons. Oh, did Fitzsimmons have another bobble? He loses almost 2/10 and dropping. Got terrible corner exit, and you see smoke up ahead. Oh, is that Fitzsimmons? Was that a lockup? There's no traffic ahead of race leaders, so it's not a car in front. So Fitzsimmons, I'm not sure if that was a lockup. Hopefully not engine smoke, because Aguilar is closing the gap 1.6 seconds back the race leader. Looks like Fitzsimmons finding a little bit more pace, stretches that advantage to 1.8 over Aguilar. Aguilar still 5 4/10 ahead of Jaden Calloway, who's holding on to that final podium spot. And it looks like Fitzsimmons starting to wick it up again. But he's got to be mindful. Aguilar showing 3/10 faster that last lap. There's a little bit of lap traffic ahead of Fitzsimmons and Aguilar. I think that's going to be Bianchi and Peterson running 14th and 15th, who are turning into the right-hander at the end of this straightaway. I'm interested to see if lap traffic is going to play a factor. I think they're going to be able to run this thing out till the end before Fitzsimmons makes his way through. Bianchi comes back down pit road. That will be his second pit stop of the night. And unless Aguilar gets a little bit of a break, I think Fitzsimmons is going to be able to hold on to it here. The white flag will be coming out this time by. Yes, there it is. We start the final lap here at this Spanish Grand Prix. And Fitzsimmons has pulled a wider margin, now a 2-second gap over Aguilar. Last time by, still both top two drivers showing almost identical lap times. Fitzsimmons a 132.03, Aguilar a 132.07. Both drivers have the pace, but this Aguilar can't quite get within striking distance. Aguilar gets within a second and a half. But I think Fitzsimmons may be just in cruise control at this point, knowing as long as he doesn't have a big bobble, any mistakes, he is looking good to bring home a win and extend his points lead. Again, for those just tuning in, Fitzsimmons was 5 points ahead of Aguilar coming in today's feature event. There is a little bit of lap traffic, and that's Peterson who hops out of the way. And put your hands together. Fitzsimmons brings home the win here at Jerez, gives a bit of a shimmy to the crowd. Raymond Aguilar finishing second. And Jaden Calloway will bring home the top 3. Fitzsimmons immediately goes into victory mode. Now we're going to try and get these drivers up here into the waiting room. Looks like we're just waiting on Aguilar to make his way up to the podium room. Then we're good to get this thing going. Don't go anywhere, though. Following these interviews, we have a very brief intermission, and then we will be right back for the action-packed sprint race where we've got half the laps and twice the action. As we're still waiting for a few more drivers to cross the start-finish line before the results become officially unofficial. And looks like we've got everybody here. Starting up first, we've got Jaden Calloway, the 37 machine. Jaden, welcome back to the top 3, and looked like it was a bit of a roller coaster of a night for you so far.
Yeah, it was a good race. I was really close to Ray for the first stint. We were pretty much together the entire time, and then I ended up trying to undercut him, but unfortunately, it didn't work out.
Yeah, it seemed like you guys had almost identical lap times, and were you just looking for some clean air with that undercut, thinking maybe you can make it up on strategy?
Yeah, I thought I could maybe come out ahead of him when he exited the pits, but he managed to pull like a 4-second gap on me. So it just didn't work out how I planned it, but it happens.
Hey, still a great race all the way around, and you've had kind of mixed results either in features or in sprints, but how's your optimism levels going into this sprint race here at the Spanish Grand Prix?
The same as always, really. Just keep my nose clean, don't get into any incidents, and hopefully bring home some good points.
Awesome. I know I'm looking forward to it as well as the fans at home. Jane, before we let you go and get ready for the sprint, who do you want to give a shout to that helps make that third place possible for you?
As always, my friends and family watching, they're the people who support me, and my teammate in Squid Gang Racing, Felipe Sarkis.
Awesome. Jane, always a pleasure, and best of luck out there.
Thank you.
That was Jaden Calloway bringing it home in third in the feature event. Up next, we've got no stranger to the interview booth. Welcome back, Ray Aguilar. A very good second and great lap times there throughout the race.
Yeah, man. First stint was pretty slimy. I don't know what I did to my front tires, but they hated me that entire first stint. And the second stint, the car was great, but I was about a 0.3 of a gallon shy on fuel, so I had to save fuel the whole end.
Now, Ray, talking about the tires, it seems like this season we've seen drivers all across the skill range kind of fighting with tire management. Is that a tire model change to these Formula 3 cars, or is it something different causing it?
Yeah, I think every season somebody goes in and they take the tire reliability slider and slide it down on the F3 until eventually they legacy the car and we don't get to drive it anymore. It seems it's totally different. Like they don't wear very much, but they still get really reactive to temperature, and they feel like they're made out of plastic.
Now, with the way the tires have been changing, the seasons have been going, how long do you think before we see a tire change as a viable strategy in future events here at League Zero?
I've been thinking about that. Yeah, for the longer races, I think you're onto something, James. I think you might be Nostradamus here because when we do these long stops, hour-long full-length races, I think that's when we might have to start thinking about it. I think you'll lose a second or two coming out of the stop, but I think you'll gain it back over the course of the rest of that stint.
Going to be interesting to see, especially if we get some of those new updates here for the Formula 3. But Ray, always a pleasure. I'm looking forward to watching the sprint. Before I let you go, who do you want to give a shout to that helped make this second place possible for you and your team?
Well, I just want to point out that by mentioning that we might get an update to the F3, you've now delayed and jinxed it by about 2 years. So appreciate that. Appreciate my wife. My wife that I married on this day 4 years ago, has supported me every step of the way and got me into the position I'm in. So I'd like to say thanks and that I love my wife. And that's it tonight, James.
Ray, congratulations. Happy anniversary, bud. Good luck in the sprint race.
Yep. Thanks so much, James.
That was Ray Aguilar bringing it home in second, racing on his anniversary. A brave man on and off the track. But up next, the man, the myth, the legend, Finley Fitzsimmons. Welcome back to the top spot. Picking up that feature win and extending that points lead.
Yeah, the points are very nice. An all right race all round. Not perfect, but yeah, it was all right.
So you do take over the amount of wins, breaking the tie that you and Aguilar had coming into tonight. I know Suzuki wasn't super kind to you. Are you a little bit more optimistic going to the sprint here at Jerez?
I think it would be good fun because I think overtaking can be quite spicy here. There are a couple of places you can overtake, but you have to have the balls to do it. I think it'll be fun, but once again, I think there will be death into Town 1 for sure.
Now, Finley, this is the first time I can recall that League Zero has come out here at Jerez. I mean, I didn't even have the track coming to tonight, so did you have a lot of seat time before this feature event to get ready?
Yeah, there were official races at the beginning of the season that I ran. I ran that all the way through the week, so it was just a case of tuning back in and getting back into the groove. So I didn't need too much practice coming into this race, but yeah, I did have some seat time coming into this race weekend.
Well, awesome. Hopefully that's going to pay off for the sprint race. I know that's always exciting for you and the fans at home. And before I let you go, get ready. Who do you want to give a shout to that helped bring home yet another win for you and the team?
Thank you to, of course, you, James, for putting on a great broadcast. Yeah, thanks to Gareth as well for being a great teammate as always. Got in a decent result coming home with P5, which is, of course, very good for the team points. Thanks to Antonio for running the league and all the stewards, of course, as always. And Chase for running race control for free, which he doesn't have to do, but yeah, he volunteered and said, I'll go and do it for free. Don't have to charge me, just so we can keep the racing nice and clean and the race under control. So thanks to him and thanks to everyone for a good race.
Well, awesome. Finley, best of luck in the sprint race and looking forward to the action.
Thank you, James. Yeah.
That was Finley Fitzsimmons finishing the top spot of the feature event. Don't go anywhere. In less than 4 minutes, we'll be right back out on track for the action-packed sprint race here at League Zero. Welcome back, race fans. Get ready as we get ready to send off the night in style for the sprint race here at the Spanish Grand Prix. We've got 12 laps on the docket. The top 12 have been inverted from the feature event. Peter Rettinger is going to start in the number 1 spot. John Kasai starting 2nd. Connor Scribner starts 3rd. Xavier Zanabe starting 4th. Eric Fox starting 5th. Michael Fairchild starting 6th. Jack Mundy starting 7th. Gareth McAllister starts 8th. Felipe Sarkis starting 9th. Jaden Calloway starts 10th. Ray Aguilar will start 11th. And Finley Fitzsimmons will start 12th, rounding out that inverted top 12 grid. Get ready for all of the action. The lights come on. And away we go. Something has happened towards the back as we've got a little bit of carnage. Jack Mundy shows as falling 8 positions. Rettinger holds on to the lead through turn 1. Looks like turn 1's going to be shockingly clear. As we've got side-by-side action every way you look. Michael Fairchild all the way through, getting around Aguilar, Calloway, Fitzsimmons in the mix in 9th, McAllister in 10th, but we've got off tracks everywhere. Oh, a big crash. That's going to be Aguilar, Fairchild, McAllister, Mundy. And the safety car will be deployed. And let's go ahead and get the old replay queued up on that one, because it's going to be a good one. Let's focus in on Ray Aguilar in the 72 machine. Looks like he's getting jostled around a little bit there. He was the first driver showing off track. I wonder if it's ahead of Aguilar. Oh no, he gets slid into. I think that may have been Fairchild. A huge hit for Aguilar. And I think there's going to be a second crash developing here. Oh my goodness! I'm not sure where that came from, but that was absolutely violent. I want to get that one queued up again. That's Felipe Ramos' first off track. And I want to see who this is. Just barely know as a driver in the initial pileup. But man, what a massive hit. Parts scattered everywhere, an absolute yard sale. I want to see what driver that was. Was that Jack Mundy torpedoing after his off track? I think it was. Mundy tries to get it slowed up, and man, what a worst opportunity. I think he's actually in reverse there. Slides right into the hot track and just absolutely obliterates. Billy Fitzsimmons was involved in that one. Felipe Ramos, Jaden Calloway, Jack Mundy, Ray Aguilar, all taking toes back to pit road. The highlight reel is going to be churning out content for this one. And it is going to be a much smaller field, showing, I believe, 12 drivers out on track out of the 17 that made the grid. Jake Duckwall did not start for this sprint. And I'm trying to look here. Peterson in the number 24 machine sitting in 6th. The only driver in the top 3 points chase Still out on track, Fitzsimmons and Aguilar are done and out of this sprint event. Drivers trying to keep a little bit of heat in the tires. We're going to roll another lap here in iPacing. So what was originally scheduled for a 12-lap sprint race is about to be a lot more hectic for the remaining drivers out on the circuit in the Spanish Grand Prix. Michael Fairchild has rolled on to pit road under his own power, but Mundy, Callaway, Aguilar, Fitzsimmons, and Ramos all out of this event taking the tow. In under iPacing conditions, it's Ryan Tebow with a 2:59.87, currently with the fastest lap of the race. So it's going to be an 8-lap shootout here at Jerez when our iRacing safety car crosses the start-finish line on pit road to get things started here. Safety car will be coming down pit road this time by. John Kasai is going to start things off. Oh my goodness, maybe not. Somebody may have run out of talent out on the circuit. Let's get a quick replay. I'm not sure if that start's going to be delayed or not. It showed Ryan Tebow involved in one of the first drivers in the crash here. Oh, that's embarrassing. That was Felipe Sarkis. May have gotten to the back of the side. Was it netcode? I take it back? I think Sarkis might have gotten run over. We'll get that. We'll check on that in a second. But the green flag is out. John Kasai holding on for dear life here. Peter Renger in hot pursuit. We could have a first-time season winner here with so many drivers back in pit road. Even more taken out under iPacing. Kasai 3/10 ahead of Renger. Renger 7/10 of Connor Scribner. We know Scribner is fast from the pace we saw. There's Antonio Bianchi taking the alternative line. He's going to fall back to 9th in that number 17 machine. Hoagie, Fox, Peterson hinting at 3 wide. Hoagie with a big send up the inside line. Able to hold on to it. This is from 5th place back. Your current top 5 is Kasai, Redger, Scribner, Denave, and Hoagie. Hoagie is up 11 spots in the 96. Go, Kasai, go. He is absolutely on the gas. He can smell a win here at the Spanish Grand Prix. Kasai, throughout his tenure here in League Zero, only has 1 win to his name. That was way back April 28, 2022 at Suzuka. He's got a 1.3 second gap over Peter Redger. Redger's going to have his hands full with Connor Scribner. Well, Scribner takes a peek at the inside line. Redger goes wide to carry as much corner speed as he possibly can. Scribner, a big move up the inside line. Takes over the second place spot from Redger. Redger fires back after Scribner. A bit of a bobble there. Now Scribner's got Zanave and Hoagie wanting to interject themselves in the battle for the podium. Barney the flagman gets the cross, green and white flags prepared to signal the halfway mark of the sprint event. We said it was going to be half the laps, twice the action. That got dwindled down to just an 8-lap sprint race after the huge lap 1 incident, forcing the safety car to be deployed. Redger fending off Scribner with everything he's got. He's got a 1/4 of a second, not too far back. You can see Zanave and McAllister battling for 5th. The cross green and whites are out. The halfway mark is upon us. McAllister has made his way around Zanave up into the top 5. There's a little bit of off track that looked like that was McAllister. I saw Nick Peterson as well kicking off some dirt. Meanwhile, the battle for second still very heated. Scribner looks like he's going to make the inside line work this time. Redger not quite able to put the power down. So Scribner will take over the second place spot. Redger falls back to 3rd. Hoagie and McAllister still rounding out the top 5. While Kasai, 2.2 seconds up over Scribner, the race leader. It's way back in 12th. Felipe Sarkis, the fastest lap of the race, a 1:32.19. And it looks like Hoagie trying to get around Redger, the Austrian, in the 44. Hoagie's going to slide up into 3rd, just barely trying to muscle Redger into an alternative line. Oh, pinches Redger, so he's not able to get the corner drive he's looking for. Here comes McAllister. He's going to join the fray in the 25. McAllister alongside Redger. Looks like McAllister may be able to slide up into 4th here. Redger guarding that inside line. Here comes Zanave, the flying Frenchman, as well as Eric Fox. It is frantic just inside the top 5. McAllister makes it happen. Zanave is going to follow the Aussie through. Just great racing all across. Redger feeling the pressures. Now he's got Fox, Peterson, Tebow right behind. On board, Ryan Tebow's number 27 machine. He's up 9 spots into 9th. Gets a big run, quite an opportune place to do anything with it. That's near Nick Pearson just ahead. as Eric Fox is keeping the pressure on Rettinger in the battle for 6th. Kasai still your race leader, a 1 second margin over Scribner, but Scribner is closing that very, very quickly. Fox works up into 6th around Rettinger. Peterson tries to follow suit, side by side with the 44. Peterson, the predominantly white, red, and yellow number 24. His teammate Kasai, still the race leader, 8/10 up over Scribner. And look at the big send from Ryan Tebow, trying to find an opening, working the draft against both Peterson and Rettinger. Tebow looks like he wants to force it 3 wide. Bianchi's going to watch from behind, say, you know what, you guys have at it. And it looks like Bianchi's got his hands full with Michael Fairchild's 88 machine. Fairchild looking for a little bit of redemption here. But a very frantic racetrack ahead of Fairchild. Has to be careful how to time these passes. We see a little bit of a lockup from Rettinger. Oh, there's contact between Fairchild and Bianchi. Fairchild gets the worst of it. Bianchi actually gains a position during that. And oh, Rettinger barely holds on to it, dipping the front right into the grass. And a massive save. Your top 5 as it is, it's Kasai, Scribner, Hoagie, McAllister, Zanabe. Kasai sets his fastest lap of the race on 1:32.57, but that is 3/10 slower than Scribner. And we are about to have a battle for the lead shaping up here. 3 laps left to go here at Jerez. It has been absolute carnage here today, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Laura Kasai. She's watching the broadcast, cheering on Kasai up front. Kasai's going to have his hands full. 3 laps left to go. We're about to click it over to 2. But Scribner in very, very hot pursuit at number 3. Kasai just needs to focus on hitting his marks. If he worries too much about defense, I think Scribner will overtake. A reminder to the fans at home, there are no pit stops in the sprint race. It is every man or woman for themselves. And here we go, the battle for the lead. 2/10 separating Kasai from Scribner. Well, Scribner squarely in the draft. Kasai's in trouble. Kasai guards the inside line, forcing Scribner to take the long way around. Who's going to have the better drive here? They're side by side. Scribner pulls ahead by 5/6 hundredths of a second. Scribner has the drive. Kasai keeps the pressure. Oh, it looks like Kasai gets forced out wide there. Scribner will take over the race lead. Let's see what Kasai can do. Will he be able to latch onto Scribner? Because here comes Addison Hoagie's 96. Addison, a bit of a newcomer here at League Zero, starting to get things dialed in. He has the pace. Looking for the consistency now. Kasai staying right there with Scribner, 2/10 off the back. We have another crash report. Michael Fairchild was involved in an incident. A little bit further back, Tebow battling against Peterson, Kasai's teammate. Side by side they go. Peterson will hold on to it. He's up 7 spots. Tebow is up 10. Scribner, your race leader, 7/10 up over Kasai. Kasai has Addison Hoagie right there behind. That number 96 machine is flying. He's up 13 spots so far. Oh, side by side, a bit of a lockup there from Hoagie. I wonder if he got pinched from Kasai. Kasai holds on to second. And look at this. Here comes Gareth McAllister, the 25. He wants the podium spot. White flag will be out next time by. Is Kasai a bit of a mistake there? A big mistake as Kasai loses 2 spots. Hoagie up into second, McAllister up into third. The top 5 ever changing. It's Scribner, Hoagie, McAllister, Kasai, and Fox. Scribner hasn't had a win since 2022, March 17th at Long Beach. If he brings it home, this will be the second win. McAllister up into third. He would be ecstatic if he can bring home a podium, but Kasai right there pressuring the young Australian driver. Your top 4 drivers within about 1.8 seconds of each other. If anybody has a mistake, this could really shake up the top 3, as now Addison Hoagie is closing the gap to Scribner. It's less than a second, but the white flag is unfurled, ready to wave at the line. And look at McAllister. McAllister's going to put the pressure on Hoagie. The final lap to make anything happen. McAllister's fastest lap time, 4/10 faster than Hoagie during this race, but it's tough to get an accurate representation on pace because everybody has been trying to make moves here. And McAllister in a very tough spot, trying to keep forward momentum because he knows Kasai right behind, willing to capitalize on any mistake. And look at the different line choices here. Everybody trying to work the draft and see if they can maybe play. Oh no, there's contact! Huge contact! McAllister and Hoagie into each other. The field scatters by, and that's what you're saying. The top 3 has already changed. It's Scribner, Kasai, Fox, Zanabe, and Peterson now the top 5. Scribner is going to be able to walk away. Kasai may have just been gifted a second place here. The seas parted. And that number 3 machine of Kasai is going to be able to bring home a second. Get the replay queued up of McAllister and Hoagie. Let's see where things went wrong. Oh, and McAllister just gets into the Hoagie, I think. And here we go. Connor Scribner picks up the win here at the Spanish Grand Prix. John Kasai will get second, and Eric Fox will get a third, and a quick shimmy to the fans at home. We say it every week, half the laps, twice the action, and man, did the racers deliver today. There's going to be a mix of emotions in the virtual paddock. Some racers are going to be ecstatic, and some are just going to be absolutely sick to their stomachs after this one. As we wait for our top 3 drivers to make their way up into the waiting room. Looks like we've got Fox, we've got Kasai, and Scribner really enjoying the moment here. So let's get things started. Up first, Eric Fox joining us, the number 33 machine. A third out of nowhere. Looks like the field's parted, and a right place, right time, I suppose.
Dude, I'm telling you, across all the leagues I'm in, if I just stay behind Gareth on the last lap, somebody's going to get involved with him, and he's going to give me a podium. It's great. I love it. I don't deserve it, but it's awesome.
Well, we know McAllister, I guess, your good luck charm, but man, Eric, I mean, you can't plan for it. Were you feeling good before that moment?
Not even a little bit. I had never driven this track before tonight, so I was just trying to get some points. So I'm super happy about it. Yeah, it's great.
Well, hey, man, glad to have you up here, Eric. It's been too long since we've talked to you. A great finish for you and the team. Who do you want to give a shout to that helped you bring home this third place?
Definitely Jack. Jack ran me through like a track guide early and really helped me out. Without him, I definitely would have been in the wall multiple times tonight. So thank you, Jack. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Eric, congratulations on third, and good to have you back up here, my friend.
All right. Thank you, brother.
That was Eric Fox bringing it home in third. Up next, Mr. Kasai himself, the number 3. Started the race off strong, a ton of fast guys behind you. An early caution, a lot of laps led, and then just absolute carnage.
Yeah, I'm not fast here, but I just didn't crash, and that seemed to work out for me here. That's all I can literally say about this race.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you were fighting off Scribner with everything you had. He was able to break 3. Looked like a top 5 was going to be pretty good for you at that point, and then, yeah, as we said to Fox, the seas parted, and here you are, my friend.
Yeah, I by no means let anyone go by. I tried, but at some point, I could see the whole pack catching me, and as a guy that is usually finishes below 6th place, it was in my best interest to battle, but not battle too hard. And yeah, Connor was excellent. Also, shout out to Connor in the feature for doing the exact same thing. But yeah, it was a good race. I'm just happy to be here, James.
Now, Dave, how nerve-wracking is it for you to be that close to your second career win, and especially under pacing where you have longer to think about it?
Well, I kind of felt like I was in a Williams or a McLaren a little bit here, so I didn't get too excited, even though I was on the front row. And even with 3 to go, I was still like, okay, don't get too excited. But it felt good. I was really looking forward to it, but I made a conscious effort to not think about that. So thanks for reminding me.
Well, hey, I mean, with the Ferrari, the virtual Red Bull guys coming out by Euro standards, that's still considered a win, all things considered.
Yeah, no. Oh, totally. Oh, yeah. If you look at my last couple sprints, it was nothing but crashes. So anything better than 10th place makes me happy. So I'm ecstatic. I'm over the moon.
Awesome, man. Good to have you back up here. Always a pleasure. And it looks like you're going to have the final send-offs of the night. So who do you want to give a shout to that helps make this second place possible for you?
Definitely you, James, and all of the guys at Team Goon Squad. You guys are always awesome. I want to shout out the Lap Zero podcast. Check us out on your favorite podcast platform, and of course, my family, my wife. Everyone that's here right now. You guys make it possible. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, bud. Good to have you back up here and hope to have you back in the coming weeks.
All right, man. Love you, bro.
Love you as well, buddy. That was John Kasai bringing it home in second here in the sprint race. Unfortunately, does not look like Connor Scribner is going to make it up here into the waiting room in that number 89 machine. So a bit of a shame there. I wonder if he was so excited, may have skipped the interview podium room and went straight to the hauler to celebrate with his friends. But I'm sure Connor would like to thank his friends and family for their support in that number 89 machine. And that is going to do it here at League Zero. So on behalf of LeagueZero.net, my name has been James East with Team Goon Squad Broadcasting. Thank you all so much to the fans, friends, and family tune in, supporting the league, supporting the drivers, as well as supporting the broadcast. And we look forward to having you back same time, same place next week. Have a great night, everybody.